Good evening, good evening, good evening. For those of you out there, I know you're not used to me being here on Wednesday nights a lot, but I really felt like I should go live and at least chat with you tonight just for a few minutes. The airways are crowded. Lots of folks are um, reaching out to everyone, and uh, I just felt like I should reach out to you. So I'll just give you a couple of minutes. I want to share with you tonight my response and a little bit about my story and where I'm at and what I believe I'm supposed to share with you. It's sort of sudden. I made up my mind about um, I made up my mind about 2 hours ago. Good evening, guys. I know AWC, you folks are not used to me being on because we changed our whole schedule at Ambassadors Worship Center. And we have small groups, very powerful small groups with great leaders that are meeting during the week. So our Wednesday night services, we're not hosting them like we used to at least for right now. So I'm on as Martin Williams, not necessarily Pastor Martin Williams, but just that side of me that pastors a great church. I don't know. I just want to tell my story a little bit and give a little bit of my response as to what's going on around us and perhaps what we should do. And, I'm always used to working with outlines. I know what I'm going to say. Tonight is really kind of different because I don't really know how I'm going to work through this, but I feel like it's right to do. And it's not that I have a fear of how people are going to feel about it. I got over that a long time ago. I do have a desire to inform people, not threaten them, and not put them in a situation where they feel bad. But I think right now it's sort of time to get over that, at least for me. Good evening. Good evening. So just a little bit about me. The last 4 or 5 years has been very tough for me, especially here in the Midwest. Just dealing with the attitudes of lots of people, how they see life, how they view their world. Whether you call it racism or white supremacy or whatever you call it, it's just been a struggle for me. It's been a struggle for me for the last at least 4 years. I don't know about you. And I'll tell you what I really thought that sent me into a period of I don't know if I'd call it depression, uh, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I'll call it a period of disillusionment because I really felt like the gospel of the kingdom would be a tool to unify us, bring us together. And the disillusionment of finally realizing that the kingdom of God, though it's a true message, that when people really get into dire straits, we revert back to who we really are inside. And the kingdom message, and I hope you're hearing me, that the kingdom message, unless you really receive it, doesn't really change who you are inside. If you are racist before the kingdom message, if it doesn't change you, you're still going to be racist when the right period comes. You're still going to be divisive. You're still not going to like people. You're still going to have issues with other folks, regardless to what is being preached from the pulpit. So that's been really, really difficult for me to be in a church, and to be in the churches, not just the church I lead, but to be affiliated with other churches where all the cultures are there. It's beautiful. We're preaching the kingdom message. Our children are playing together. We're fellowshipping. We got 5, 6, 12 different languages running around in the church, from the African continent, from the European continent, from Central and South America, and even from here. People bringing all types of food together to eat at the church. And the children they're not colorblind. They're spending time with one another in the hallways and children's church, and they realize that they're Black, they're white, they're Latino, Hispanic, a different African nation or different tribe. They realize they're from Panama, they're from Mexico, Colombia. And then all of a sudden, the opportunity to be separated begins to present itself to our church. To our church. I'm not talking about, this is not ethereal, or I'm not talking about churches out there. I mean, the church I lead, the church I planted, the church I'm a part of, my family. And we just start to divide and unravel and disconnect. And in the middle of that disconnection of relationships that have been, children were born together in our church. They played together, they were friends. To just all of a sudden have families start to tear apart, and because of this spirit of division that some people call racism. It's simply a spirit to conquer and divide the people of God. And the kingdom message was supposed to be the answer. It was supposed to be the way we come together. It was supposed to be the solution to the problem. It was supposed to be the unification of all humans. When you become disillusioned with that, and the people you spent your life with, the people you helped them build their life, the people you helped, you loved, they love you, and then all of a sudden they can't stand to talk to you, look at you. You're offensive to them. And when you're literally having honest conversations, they can't tell you why. They can't tell you why they don't like you. They can't tell you why they're leaving the church. They can't tell you why they're repulsed. They can't tell you why they're upset. They can't tell you why they're angry. They just can't do it. The psychosis of division, and I'm just sharing from where I'm at. I hope y'all are okay with it. But honestly, tonight, my goal is not that you be okay with what I'm saying. My goal really tonight is to just share my story and share my heart and where I'm at. And again, my name is Martin Williams. I'm from Monticello, Mississippi. I'm a proud descendant of African slaves. I'm also a very proud descendant of American Indian tribes. Very proud. In Mississippi, where I'm from, my brothers and sisters who were there, some that came before me, some that are after me, we, maybe I should just say me. I love Mississippi. I love Mississippi. I love my little town, Monticello, and the surrounding areas. Because in Mississippi, In Mississippi, I was told, nigga, I will kill you, I will shoot you, and I will hang you on the tree in front of your house. And I will cut your blank off. I will cut them off. And I will throw you in the river. And nobody will do anything about it because my uncle is the sheriff. My cousin works at the courthouse. I will do what I want to you. I was told that for years and for months where I'm from. I knew who hated me. I knew who hated me. I knew who loved me. I knew who would protect me. And I knew the ones who would take me out if they had a chance. I knew them. You knew in Mississippi. Here in the Midwest, you don't know. People aren't overt in their feelings. You don't find out. You don't find out that you're dealing with a racist, divisive person or someone who doesn't like you. And this is Martin again. This is not Pastor Martin. You don't find out till you need them. You don't find out until it's no longer comfortable to be associated with you. You don't find out until being a friend with you or going to a church with a black pastor compromises their business. When their relatives find out in a climate like that, they got a black pastor. or when their family, people can't defend the relationship long enough. They can't defend it. Now, you're thinking you're family. You're thinking you're under the kingdom message. You think we're all human beings and we've learned. We're in the church together. Our children play together. We're hanging out. But all of a sudden, there's this pressure to let the obvious the obvious roots of our country begins to rise again, and it enters the church. It enters the church. I know great denominations that have white and black congregations. Some of them have black and white people in the same church. You know, Church of God, maybe some Pentecostal denominations where they have this sort of thing going on. Maybe that's happening, but I'm talking to you as Martin. I became disillusioned and weary. My wife and my children helped me with this. My wife, Linnell, and my daughter, Callie, and my son, Josh, would just sit with me. Because in my head, I could not figure out, well, you know, what is this? This doesn't make sense. Now, I'll tell you the truth. I spent a lot of time building relationships with white evangelicals, white charismatic churches, white Pentecostal churches. I would invite them to our church, pay great honorariums, develop friendships. And just at the beginning of this whole thing, I'm trying to figure it out. All of a sudden, they won't even accept my invitations to become associated or let others know they're associated with me or associated with what we're doing. Became an issue, a weight, a discomfort, a inconvenience. So you know me, I call and say, what's going on? Did I do something? Did I offend you? No, I can't really tell you what it is, but the Lord is leading us. The Lord is leading us in a new direction. God has called us away. And I finally found out this has nothing to do with God. This has nothing to do with Jesus. This has nothing to do with church. This is not God. This is not Holy Spirit. This is none of that crap. This right here is a spirit of division that the devil is working in hand with Christians who are not kingdom. And it's upholding the systems. It's upholding the systems that oppress Black and brown skinned people and also indentured white people that need to stay in their place so that the supremacists can stay in their place. It is a protection for that. And to keep us divided so that we never live in harmony. Listen, let me tell you something. I have just been trying to figure out, what do I do? God, what do you want me to do? Because see, here's the last part of my story. I'm from Monticello, Mississippi. I am one of 12 children. My mother was the help in our town. So my mom was the help. She would go to all the rich white folks' houses. Excuse me, I'm not trying to be offensive. It's just the way it was. White, whatever you want to call it. And she would work for them. But she had 10 daughters. She had 10, she had 9 daughters and 3 sons. So now my mom would go to a different white house and leave this house for one of her daughters. This house. So all my sisters and all my brothers, we were the help. Watch the movie. That was our life. We worked in these houses. I was the last one in my family to be the help. So all the way through the age of 19, I worked for one of the richest white ladies in my little town. I cut her grass. I made her bed. I washed her clothes. I washed her car. I did all of that. During the time that all the little white boys who had money were trying to kill me. Never understood it. Cried myself to sleep. Why do they hate me? What have I done? So finally, I'll just get to the last part of this. So finally, because when my father died when I was 9.5, 10, when my father died, the week of his funeral, I had the one vision I've ever had in my whole life. Never had another vision. And the vision was this. I walked outside and God showed me in the sky the nations of people. I saw all nations, all different colors of skin and hair and what they dressed. I'd never seen these people before until my sister bought us an encyclopedia set. So I could see the pictures of people from who were Asians. I could see the pictures of people who were from Africa, the African continent. I could see the pictures of the South Americans. And I'm like, those are the people I saw in my vision. And in my vision, God said, Martin, one day you will be linked with these people and you will help these people. You will be a blessing to all these nations. All these nations you're going to be a blessing to. You're going to be a blessing to all these nations. I was so overjoyed because I was a little boy living in Mississippi, and I didn't know we were poor. You don't know these kind of things because you're living around a lot of other poor people. But it's like, wow, I'm so excited. But by the age of 18, I was so angry. I was angry with everybody, and I was especially angry at systems where it seemed like white people had control of my life. They had control of my life. And I was so upset with that color of skin. So upset with that color of skin. And the systems in Mississippi where they could just tell me, they could tell me when they would ride, they knew when I would get off work. You couldn't go to what we call the white folks' quarters unless you were working there. If you weren't going there to work for somebody, you could not go in there. So my friends from school, my high school buddies, would get on the back of their truck with guns and follow me to work and follow me back until I left the white folks' quarters in trucks. When I saw that kid run inside that truck a couple weeks ago, Mr. Aubrey, when I saw that, my heart palpitated because that's what I would have to do. So I would run. I was in great shape. I would run to work and I would run home. I would run around their trucks while they were threatening me. We can shoot you right now, and nobody would do anything. Finally, one day, they drove by me and they said it again. We ought to shoot you. Call me the name. Hey, blank. Hey, blank. I stopped running and I looked them right in the face and I said, what? They said, you don't seem to be offended. And I said, I'll answer to any N-word you call me. I'll answer to all of them. I'll answer to all of them. I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed. And I'm tired of running from all of y'all. I'm tired of running from you. I'm tired of running from you. And I said, if you can shoot me, if you can hang me from a tree and cut my blanks off, do it today. Do it today if you can do it. I'm done running. I'm finished. This is it. So I stood there with my eyes closed, waiting to be shot. And in my mind, I wasn't thinking I'm getting ready to die. In my mind, I was wondering how my sister Pearl was going to find me. What is Tony, Bessie, and Julie going to do when their brother was shot and now they can't find him, thrown in the swamps with the alligators? What would it do to my family if they found me hanging from a tree in Mississippi? What would that do to my family? I'm not afraid to die. If you're going to kill me, kill me. Stop talking about it if you got that kind of power. That's what I said to my friends. These are my friends. These are the people I played football, basketball, track. These were the boys. They ran everything. Friends with the mayor, sheriff's son, nephews, the guy who owned the biggest car lot in the city, his son, all of them on the back of trucks in the broad daylight, chasing me down in a truck. I know you didn't know this, but I want to tell you what happened to me. Because I was done. Can you write that down? Have you ever been done? I mean, just done. I'm done. I don't have nothing else to say. I don't have nothing else to do. This is it. I am finished. I am done. I was done. I was going to live the rest of my life as an activist. My mother named me Martin Luther Williams. I went to work for this lady and I said to her, I'm trying to get into college. I made a 12 on the ACT. Horrible. No college would accept me. No college would accept me. I was trying to get someone to accept me on probation. And I went to her house that day to work for her. I was cleaning and all this stuff in her house, and I just cleaned up the messes that her dog would make. She would wait till I come over. And she called me in and she said, read the paper to me. She was paying me more than the minimum wage. So I sat for 2 hours and just read her the paper. I read stuff to her. And then she said, Martin, do you have $1? I said, no, I won't say her name. I said, no, ma'am, I don't have $1. I'm waiting for you to pay me. I'm waiting for you to pay me, and then I'll have $1. She said, I can't give you $1 till you finish working. I can't pay you till you finish working. I said, I know how that is. I'm just waiting for you to pay me, my $25 or my $27 so I can go and I maybe have a good weekend and whatever I got to do. This lady said to me, I want you to go and get $1 and I want you to come back. It's a white lady. I'm like, where am I? So I went home and I asked my sister Pearl, who's taking care of me, do you have $1? Miss Tynes wants $1. I don't know what she wants. I just said her name, sweet lady. She wants $1. She wants $1. She wants $1 for something. Well, what does she want $1 for? I said, I don't know why she wants $1. She just wants $1. And my sister Pearl gave me 4 quarters. 4 quarters. I took those 4 quarters and I gave them. I said, here, this is the $1. I rode my bike. I ran home, jogged back, gave her the quarters. She took out a long piece of paper. I'd never seen a legal form before. Never seen one. She took out this long piece of paper that had a blue backing, a legal form. And she said, sign right here. And I said, what am I signing? She said, read it. So I read it. And this lady was selling me her car for $1. What am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? I am mad. I am literally pissed at white people. I am disillusioned. I am done dealing with this. I'm going to be an activist the rest of my life. And now this white lady sells me her car for $1. It was an older car, but it was a car. She sat me down and she said, regardless of what you do, she said, you go to school. She put new tires on the car for me and filled it with gas and said, go to school, get your degree. I'm the last Williams to work for her. I don't know what this was. I don't know if this was guilt. I don't know if she was getting ready to die, and she did. She died about 3 years later. Maybe she was just trying to go to heaven. She just, I don't know what it was. I can't say. But that act changed my life, because it was then I knew every white person I see doesn't hate me. I learned later that every black person I see doesn't love me. That there was a difference in people's human spirit. There was a difference in how people responded to me. And it got me on track to go back to my vision that I saw. Martin, you're called to be a blessing to people. That's the reason for your life. You need to stay on track. Maybe there's some people out there right now and you're just trying to figure out, what are we going to do? Our black men have been shot in the streets. Our black men can't even breathe. We're being intentionally hunted. We're being intentionally backed into a corner and shot. We're being intentionally provoked. We're being intentionally, and once they have us in cuffs, they're trying to take us out in the moment. They're not waiting to get us in a jail cell anymore. There's this spirit that's risen up in some, is so much hatred and bitterness and murder. And it's like, why do they not like us? I'm saying that it's time that we don't expect anybody to like us. It's time for us to not need to be liked. It's time for us to not need for anybody to do anything for us, to help us feel any type of way about anything. This is Martin. This is Martin talking to you. I think it's time that we say, I like me. And I'm not going to walk around afraid. I'm not going to teach my children to be afraid of any police or any system, any devil, any country, any Supreme Court, any DA, anything that's been put out there to supplant me. And I have a black wife, I have a black son, and I have a black daughter. And I will not teach them to fear. I will not teach them to fear anybody. I will not teach my children to prepare to be stopped by the police. I'm not going to give them fear. If that fear is brought upon them, they will know their rights and they will stand. And if we have to die, we're not going to die running from anybody. No, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to feel bad because you feel bad about me. Not going to be disillusioned because you think I need you or you think I need something from you. I need nothing from you. Nothing. You need something from me. You're blocking out the people who built this country. What are you talking about? You didn't build this country. We built this country. 75% of this country's wealth came off the backs of slaves. 100% of this country came from the slaughter of brown people. 100%. All of it. All of it. All of it. All of it. And you may like me when I seem subservient. You may like me as long as I seem submissive. You may like me as long as you feel like I am subdued, but I am never subdued. I'm not subdued in chains. I'm not subdued with your knee on my neck. I'm not subdued when I'm in your prisons. I'm not subdued when you have chains around my feet. I'm not subdued when you don't want me to go to college. I'm not subdued. You can't subdue a human spirit that knows the King. It can't happen. But here is what here is what I think we should do. I have an amazing friend here in town, an amazing friend, and he is white, but he's like my brother. We're not colorblind, though. This crap about being colorblind. I'm colorblind. I don't want no friend that's colorblind. I don't want any friend that's colorblind. If you are Mexican, I want to see you as a Mexican, love you, respect you, and receive you as my brother. I don't want to say, I don't see your Mexican heritage. Why can't I see your Mexican heritage? Why can't I eat sofritas? Why can't I eat tacos with you? Why can't I drink the drinks you drink, horchata? Why can't I do that and see you for who you are? Why can't you see me as a black man? I'm a black man. Peas, cornbread, greens, beans. That's who I am. It's what I love. So I don't want to be friends with you if I have to eat your boring casserole salads. No, I don't. I don't. I want you to see me. See me. I want to see you. I want to know you. I want to know where you come from. I want to understand what it was like growing up in Puerto Rico. I want to know what it's like growing up in Kenya. I want to know what it's like growing up in Panama, in Britain, in New England, wherever you're from. You, the real person, who you are. I want to know you. I want to feel you. I want to be a part of your life, and I want you to be a part of my life. But I will not give up my life to be a part of yours. You're going to have to take all of me too. That's it. That's it. So what do I think we need to do? Let me tell you something, mamas. Mamas and daddies of little black and brown skinned boys. You got a choice now. You got a choice now. You're either going to stand in faith in the kingdom, or you're going to fear and freak out. Let me tell you what happens when fear is provoked in you. You cannot be proactive if you're scared. You can't. You either fight or run when you're scared. You can't strategize. You can't think. You can't plan. You can't, you can't think of the future. You're ready to run or you're ready to faint. And that's why the proverbial they wants you to be fearful. They want you to march. They want you to walk on the streets. They want you to post in fear. Because they know scientifically, emotionally, that if you're in fear, you will not plan. You will not organize. I want to encourage you. If you're upset with me, I get it. I live with people upset with me. I'll get over it. I'll get over it. Instead of marching, go sit down and plan. Go sit down and bring your money together and invest it. Go sit down and find out who among you should go to law school. Get on the police department. Get in the fire department. Run for mayor. Get politically involved. But most of all, come together and earn some money. Money will separate you from a lot of this stuff that's going on. Don't be fearful of going and looking at houses that you think you want to live in, houses under construction. Obey the laws, but look and dream. Dream. Don't teach your children to be afraid of this system. Let me tell you what God promised, and this is what I believe. And AWC, if you're on here, this is why our church exists. This right here for this time, this is why our church exists. If you're embarrassed, black, white, green, yellow, chicken noodle soup, it don't matter to me. But if you're embarrassed to call our church your church, if you don't want your family to know you go to our church, if you don't feel like you can stand up for Ambassadors Worship Center, if you're embarrassed that you got a black pastor, if you're embarrassed that your children are playing with black children or your children are playing with white children or Latino children or whatever, if that embarrasses you, you don't belong with us. If in your mind you have to struggle with, I don't know if I want to be with those people this Sunday, find somewhere. We'll be all right. We'll be okay. We'll survive. We survive everything. Are you kidding me? We survived 400 years. We survived 400 years of this, 200 and almost 300 years of slavery, and then Jim Crow, and then dealing with this Supreme Court and the Supreme Court justices and the circuit court judges and all the judges that we had to go through. We had to deal with people flying in the drugs from South America on their billion-dollar planes and landing and now bringing those drugs to our neighborhoods and dropping guns in our neighborhoods. And now they also own the prisons. So the people who bring the drugs in from South America can fly them into our neighborhood, give them to us to sell to our own brothers and sisters. Then they own the police departments that come and arrest us. They own the jails that they put us in. And now they own the federal system that gives them money for building this system to keep us in it. We know. We've known for a long time. We're not stupid or ignorant. We have just been surviving and refusing to die and refusing to die. Where your black boys, they commit all the crime. They do not. They commit a lot of murders, black on black crime. They don't shoot white people, and white people don't really shoot black people unless they're cops. But all the other crimes, the real crimes, the crimes of war kill millions. The crimes of hunger kill millions on the African continent. Who's going to pay for those? And because others are in charge of the prison system, they can decide who goes to jail and who doesn't. So the guy who shoots one guy on the street can go to jail for life. But the guy who owns the company that forces people to come to work, and now 100 of them die because of the COVID virus, he's just a business owner. He's not a murderer. He didn't shoot anybody in the head. He's a capitalist. We need him. We need his business. There are different laws for different people because a certain person controls the laws. I know some of you never heard me do this, and you're like, is that my pastor? Who is that? Who is this Martin Williams guy? I'm telling you, we've got to finally understand that this thing is not going to go away. We've got to accept it's not going to go away. We got to stop being mad. It's time out, time for something else. Stop being mad. What did I say? Stop being mad. Don't hate nobody. Don't hate, don't hate, don't hate, don't hate, don't hate, don't hate. It takes too much energy, and you can't plan, think, make money, and take care of your family if you're hating people. Don't hate. It's not worth it. Let's strategize now. Listen to me, every black, brown-skinned person and anyone else that understands where we are and what we're going through, we will join with them. We'll go to church with them. We'll do business with them. We'll help them with their families. We'll let them help us with our families. What did I say? Listen, black-skinned people, this is not going away. 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 It's not going away. I don't care what white church you join. It ain't going away. Unless that pastor is like my friend, I won't mention his name, but I got a friend that's straight up kingdom. He don't care. He ain't got nothing to do with all this mess that's going on. He's my man. He's one of my best friends. I trust him with my wife and with my children, right? But he don't take no mess. This mess, he calls it what it is. He lives with it. He preaches and he shepherds people of all nations. So he's my man. But you've got to know, black-skinned people, I'm telling you, this crap they taught us about not trusting one another, not doing business with one another, not marrying one another, not coming together as a community. We got to get that thinking out of our heads, and we've got to come together. We got to come together. We got to come together. Our brown-skinned people, we got to come together. Any yellow or red-skinned people, we got to come together and join. And now any person that calls themselves white or Caucasian, whatever the words might be, our sympathizers, those who understand, those who are called by the kingdom. We've got to join together and do what the Bible said Jesus would do in Isaiah 9 and 6. He said that there was going to be a kingdom, a son was going to be born, there was a child's going to be born, and a son is going to be given, and he will bring the kingdom of God on earth. But people don't read the last part. He said that he will have zeal and he will establish it and build it with justice. Justice. We've got to come together, not for social justice. We don't need social justice. We need justice, not social. We don't need our country broken up into social groups. I'm almost done. We don't need our country broken up into social groups. We just need one country with one set of laws for everybody. Everybody, one set of laws. Everybody obeyed those laws. We don't have a police department that is really the replication of the slave runners, those that will go after the slaves, keep the slaves in mind. We know, we're not dumb. We know that the police department is not here to work for us. We know this. We know that the police department is here to work for a certain group of people, to protect them, to protect their buildings, their companies. We know that they're here not for all of us. We know. We've always known. We got to realize this is just the way it is. We don't have time to hate anybody. You can know the facts without hating someone. You can know what's really going on, but not hate anyone, because people are just a part of a system. They're just part of a system. And in any way they can, they want to preserve who they are. They want to preserve who they are. And I think we should do the same. We should preserve who we are. Without being upset with anyone, without being mad, without being a separatist, without a spirit of division. We're together as people who serve the King, but we're preserving who we are. You have a right in this country to protect yourself, protect your family. Why aren't our evangelical heroes saying anything? Why aren't the stars of TBN saying anything. Why? Why are our preachers more excited about opening up the country than they are protecting the people who live in it? Why is that? Why is the Christian church decidedly so divisive and divided? Really interesting to me. Is it interesting to you? It really is. Unify. Do business with one another. Right now, we don't have an economy. Our money leaves our community in 6 hours after we get paid. Well, Martin, you're being awful racist tonight. You call it what you like. I really don't care. You call it what you like. You can call it whatever you feel like it is. Has nothing to do with me. It's how you feel. I learned my lesson. That lady taught me, Martin, there are people that are for you, and they're of all nations. They're all skin colors. There are people who are against you, and they're from all nations and all skin colors. You just need to live your life with those who are for you, those who are with you, those who sympathize with you, those who understand you. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what's in my heart. Before I go, just in case, there are some that are trying to figure out what you do with the pastor side of me. And I just want to tell you, Sugar Lump, I've never changed. I've always been this person. I've always talked about the oppressor. I've always preached the kingdom. I've always said that there is an oppressor that wants to oppress you and your family. I have always said, I've been saying it for years. I've been saying it for 25 years. There's a system. Be above it. Don't be in it. Don't live like that. You can live above it. Don't let anybody despise you for the color of your skin or because you're a female. You are a man created. I've been saying that for 25 years. Why are you upset now? Why are you mad now? Huh? Why are you upset with me and others now? I've always been black. I'm proud to be black. And I love it that you're white or Latino or Hispanic or wherever you're from Asia. I love who you are. I love you, who you are. And I also love me and who I am. And I'm not going to start hating myself because it makes you feel better. I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be happy. And I think all of us deserve that kind of life. I believe it. So I'll lift my hands now. And some of y'all who's really spiritual, y'all go ahead and pray for your brother. Pray for me right now. Pray. Lord, help him. Lord, help. Y'all can go ahead and pray for me because I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this system. I'm done with this political, this evangelical, this charismatic, this thing that God has nothing to do with. God ain't in it at all. Ain't no God in this at all. This is people. This is people trying to preserve who they are, their heritage, and what makes sense to them. And what makes sense to them doesn't make sense to me. It's not for me. It's for them. Jesus died so they could be for all of us. And I will live till I'm old, and I will preach this message of the kingdom until I'm old and dead. And I'm going to tell every person I meet, no matter where you're from, Jesus died for you, and he died for you to live in favor and not fear. He died so that you could be prosperous. He died to give you a home. He died in this earth. Why would I leave America? I built this country. My people, the blood of my people is in the soil. We built the White House. We built the White House. We built the White House. We built the monuments. We built the schools, the skyscrapers. We dug the rivers. We planted the cotton. We did the work. This is my country. I fought for this country. My sister fought for this country. Both my brothers fought for this country. This is our country. It is ours. We served in the military. We did all that so we could have a right to kneel at football games, kneel during the national anthem. We fought to have these rights to protest. It's in our Constitution. We're not going to stop doing it because you think we should stop. We've earned the right to do so. Just like you have the right to think it's wrong. That's fine. Think it's wrong. That's up to you. It's up to you. Y'all through praying for me? All right, I'll go. So Lily Mae's baby boy signing off. The same boy that was followed with the trucks. Followed with the trucks, with the guys with the shotguns and the rifles. Same little boy. Same little boy that had to watch another 10-year-old boy call my grown daddy boy. He looked up at my daddy and called my daddy boy. And my daddy looked down at him and called him sir. Never forget the lessons I was taught. But none of those lessons I was taught make any sense to me. None of them. I'm a man that deserves to live, that deserves to have a voice, that deserves to live in this land, to live in peace in this land. And that's exactly what I intend to do in the name of Jesus. Living in the kingdom of God. And I say to you, my brother, sister, I don't care what color your skin is. I hate no one, and I absolutely love you. But I'm not going to try to convince you that I'm worth loving. You don't want to love me, that's totally up to you. Don't have time to try to convince you. I'm going to spend the time with people who love me, who believe in me. I love them and I believe in them. And we're going to build something beautiful together right here on this planet. I love y'all. This is going away on Facebook. I'm not saving it on Facebook, but I will leave it up on YouTube for a while. If you got people in your life and you want them to hear an hour of my ranting and raving, you can do that. AWC, I can't wait to talk to you on Sunday morning, because some of you, people of all colors, of all nations, don't matter who you vote for, you're coming to church. And you're gonna have a chance to decide. AWC is the home, it's the place I can help build this idea that God had through Jesus for his church. Amen. Amen. Bless y'all.